Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Monday, January 23, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Orlando Magic vs Boston Celtics. In Monday night NBA action, the Boston Celtics will invade the Amway Center to take on the Orlando Magic. The Celtics, 35-12, have reeled off 9 straight victories and have opened up a 4.5-game lead over Philadelphia for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. On Saturday, Boston limited Toronto to 19 points over the final 12 minutes of a 106-104 road victory. The Boston Celtics played without Jason Tatum and humbled the Toronto Raptors 106-104 on the road Sunday. Grant Williams scored a career-high 25 points, but Marcus Smart and Robert Williams both left the game. At halftime, Williams was ruled out for the second half because of a hyperextended knee, and considering he had surgery on that knee, expect him to sit for this game. Marcus Smart had X-rays and they came out negative, but he will likely miss this one too. Although they have played better as of late, the Magic still hold a pedestrian 17-29 record, and their only shot at making the postseason would be to earn a play-in berth. But they can still steal a win here from the depleted Boston Celtics, who will not have their full roster. Our team pick is Orlando Magic money line. Boston has failed to cover the spread in 4 of their last 5 against the Magic. Take Orlando here. Orlando was blown out after trailing by double digits in the first quarter as they fell 138-118 to the Washington Wizards. Both the Magic and Celtics rank in the middle of the pack in regards to pace of play. Considering Boston is missing some guys, they will go with more of an up-tempo game without Robert Williams or Marcus Smart running the point. Our total pick is over the total. Orlando is 24th in defensive rating, as they have struggled at times containing some of the more efficient offensive clubs such as Boston. The total number has gone over in 6 of Orlando's last 7 games at the Amway Center. Detroit Pistons vs Milwaukee Bucks. The Monday NBA schedule will tip off with a matchup between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Detroit Pistons from Little Caesars Arena. The Bucks, 29-17, are a game below .500 on the road and trail Philadelphia by 1 full game for second place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Saturday, Milwaukee allowed Cleveland to shoot 56% from the field during a 114-102 road loss. Detroit was ousted in Paris by the Chicago Bulls 126-108 on Wednesday afternoon. Victor Wembanyama was sitting courtside, the 19-year-old French phenom and presumed number 1 NBA draft pick, watching some of the players he'll go up against next season. Detroit will have a great shot at the youngster, considering they are 12-36 heading into this game against the Bucks, the second worst record in the NBA. Hamidou Diallo had 17 points on 7-for-8 shooting for Detroit, while Saddiq Bey and Jaden Ivey each scored 16 for the Pistons. As long as they are trotting out these types of lineups as they did in Paris, they will finish at or near the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Look for the Bucks to get an easy win on the road here. Take Milwaukee to win and cover the spread. The Bucks and Pistons sit in the middle of the pack with respect to pace of play heading into this Eastern Conference battle. Giannis will likely not be available for this one, so both teams should have some second chance looks at the basket. Jaden Ivey notched a team-high tying scoring mark in Paris while finishing second in rebounds and assists. With averages of 15.4 points, 5.3 assists, and 4.6 rebounds in 31.3 minutes over his first 8 outings of January, Ivey has been a solid contributor for Detroit, who has been playing without Cade Cunningham. The top overall pick a year ago is expected to miss the entire season. Take the under with confidence. With that said, points will still be at a premium for this one. Houston Rockets vs Minnesota Timberwolves. The Toyota Center will play host to a Monday night NBA rematch between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Houston Rockets. The Timberwolves 24-24 have won 7 of their last 10 games and are locked in a three-way tie for 6th place in the Western Conference standings. On Saturday, Minnesota outscored Houston by 10 points during the second half of a 113-104 home victory. For the Rockets, this will be the 4th time this season they have faced the same team in back-to-back games. In their prior 3 series, they lost the second game each time. During the entirety of their 13-game losing streak, they are 1-12 at S with 9 of the losses, having spreads larger than this game. The Timberwolves themselves are 2-0 ATS versus Houston during this streak, winning both games by an average margin of victory of 9.5 points per game, straight up. Minnesota is shooting nearly 50% from the field over their last 5 games, and they continue to be a solid choice Austrian shillings, going 7-3 Austrian shillings in their last 10. Our team pick is Minnesota -5 points. The Timberwolves are 3-0 ATS in the last 3 meetings with Houston, 6-1 ATS in the last 7, and 8-2 ATS in the last 9. The Timberwolves have done extremely well in defending the Rockets, allowing just 105.7 points per game in 3 meetings this season. In the 2 meetings this month, they have held Houston to just 44.2% shooting and just 38 field goals per game. Minnesota has also made exactly 38 field goals in each of the last 2 meetings, and even though Houston has allowed an average of 124.9 points per game over their last 11 games, the Twolves average just 108.5 points in their 2 games of that stretch. Our total pick is under 239.5 points. Saturday's meeting went under by 23 points, and I'm not sure both of these teams can make that up in just 2 days. Chicago Bulls vs Atlanta Hawks. NBA TV will feature a Monday night battle between the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls from the United Center. The Hawks, 24-23, have won 7 of their previous 10 games and are a game back for 6th place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Saturday, Atlanta was outscored by 12 points during the 4th quarter of a disappointing 122-118 home loss versus Charlotte. Chicago has covered in 5 of their last 6 games against Atlanta. The Bulls are also 6-2 ATS in their last 8. These 2 teams seem to always play each other close, with their first 2 games this season being decided by a total of 3 points. Chicago has thrived with momentum lately, going 9-1-1 ATS in their last 11 games following a win. The Hawks' rebounding being so spotty is also a cause for concern. Chicago also has the rest advantage, not playing since the 19th, while Atlanta played on the 21st. Our team pick is Chicago Bulls -1 points. Games between these 2 are always close, but I think the Bulls have just enough to get the critical win at home. Let's start off by examining some trends. The over has hit in 4 of the last 6 games between the Hawks and Bulls. The over is 6-2 in Chicago's last 8 home games and 4-1 in Atlanta's last 5 overall. These numbers make some sense when you realize that both of these teams rank in the top 12 in the league for pace of play. The Hawks have also given up over 120 points in 3 straight games. Our total pick is over 239 points. 4 of the 5 biggest stars between these 2 teams are offensive powerhouses that don't bring you as much defensively. This game seems like a prime candidate for a late January shootout. Utah Jazz vs Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets look for their 3rd consecutive victory when visiting the Utah Jazz on Monday. Charlotte is 13-34 and last in the Southeast Division, 12 games behind the first-place Miami Heat. Charlotte defeated the Atlanta Hawks 122-118 on Saturday night, rallying from a 19-point deficit in the 3rd quarter. Charlotte has won 2 straight, but the Hornets have lost 5 of the last 7. The Hornets have found rare form as they have won back-to-back games. They defeated the Hawks after a strong comeback where they outscored Atlanta by 20 points in the second half. But the Jazz have been strong at home as they are 13-11 against the spread in their own building. The Hornets are 3-5 against the spread when they have been underdogs in their last 10 games. Our team pick is Utah Jazz -8 points. Rozier is a capable scorer, but the rest of the is very inconsistent. The Jazz should be able to capitalize for an easy win. The total is far too high for these 2 teams. The Jazz have been playing to their opponent's strengths, and Charlotte has not been a very efficient scoring team. You need to be efficient with your possessions against a very good Utah squad. The under is 9-2 in the last 11 meetings in Utah. Our total pick is under 235.5 points. The under is 14-6 in the Hornets' last 20 Monday games. The under is 10-4 in the Jazz's last 14 versus a team with a losing straight-up record. Portland Trail Blazers vs San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs look to bounce back from a loss with a victory on the road Monday when visiting the Portland Trail Blazers. San Antonio is 14-32 and 4th in the Southwest Division, 17 1/2 games behind the first-place Memphis Grizzlies. San Antonio was defeated by the Clippers 131-126 on Friday night. San Antonio has lost 6 of its last 7. Portland will be playing its second game in as many days on Monday when hosting San Antonio, after playing at home on Sunday against the Los Angeles Lakers, which will affect Portland's play on Monday. Portland scores an average of only 112.9 points per game, but will be hard-pressed to score that Monday on the back half of a back-to-back. San Antonio is giving up far too much on defense, but the Spurs have improved their offense to an average of 112.8 points per game. Our team pick is San Antonio Spurs plus 9.5 points. San Antonio has covered the spread in 7 of its last 9 games. Portland has failed to cover the spread in 7 of its last 9 games. Both teams are relatively healthy, although Portland will miss Justice Winslow and could play without backup point guard Gary Payton II. The Portland Trail Blazers have a 100.3 pace of play rate, while San Antonio is even higher at 103.1. The total has finished over in 6 of San Antonio's last 7 games, and on the season the total has finished over in 28 of San Antonio's 46 games for a rate of 60.9%, which is the highest rate in the NBA. San Antonio is allowing an average of 121.4 points per game, which is 30th in the NBA period. Take the over, 241.5 points. Sacramento Kings vs Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies play the second half of a back-to-back on Monday when visiting the Sacramento Kings after playing on the road Sunday against the Phoenix Suns. Memphis is 31-14 and first in the Southwest Division, 5 1/2 games ahead of the second-place New Orleans Pelicans. Memphis was defeated by the Los Angeles Lakers 122-121 on Thursday, which snapped an 11-game winning streak for the Grizzlies. Memphis had been on an 11-game win streak, and poor free throw shooting kept them from extending that to 12. In this contest they should have the nice upper hand in the painted area, and I don't expect the Kings to be able to stop the Grizzlies in transition either. Our team pick is Memphis minus 6.5 points. Sacramento has been a great team in the paint in their own right, but the Grizzlies boast one of the best two-point shooting defenses in the league. Memphis will get back in the win column in this one. Both of these teams are among the fastest defenses in the league. The Kings have the tendency to play a bit faster at home, and over the Grizzlies' last 5 games, they have really pumped up the pace. Our total pick is over 234.5 points. I expect each offense to push it in transition here as well. While the Grizzlies have been great defending the paint, that hasn't been the Kings' primary mode of scoring. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies look to attack the paint, and that's an area Sacramento has struggled in all season. The play is the over.